Yay!
Hey, sorry. You have no idea how hard getting this was. I'm back. Cereal is back on the menu, boys. Let's hope that doesn't have to happen for another couple of months, yeah?
Him. What are your thoughts on cryptids? You know, the Chupacabra, Ogopogo, Bigfoot, Mothman, Nessie, a consistent upload schedule. Despite there being tons of documentation on these things, none of them have ever truly been proven to exist. But it's a fun little hobby to imagine a world full of these little critters. Now, what if I told you that Mario and friends are no stranger to the concept of ambiguous creatures of legend? From mythical one-time occurrences to the very thought that something of the sort must exist due to surrounding evidence, these are the Mario characters that do not exist. Like the video or I'll set your house on fire. I've created 5 categories to sort these little goobers into, so we can sort of understand what on earth they even are. Nay, if they even are. These categories are theoretical/implied, left on the drawing room floor, reimagined, glitches in the Matrix, and hoaxes. I'll take theoretical/implied for $300, Alex. God rest his soul. In New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Toadette has a character-specific power-up that only they can take advantage of. It's called the Super Crown, and it turns Toadette into a Princess Peach lookalike, only with Toadette's iconic twin tails being present in Peach's hairstyle. This transformation led to an insane number of questions that I am not willing to get into at the moment, but the most provocative and engaging question was, what if other characters use the Super Crown? Would they too be turned into a Peach lookalike, with only their most pronounced features varying their visage? This gave birth to a slew of new theoretical characters, the most popular being Bowsette, which is obviously the combination of Bowser and Peach, but there's still a ton that I find way more cool, like Jumpette, Booette, and Bullette. Oh my. Nintendo seems to be on the fence about whether these are actually possible, since only Peachette has ever actually made an appearance wielding the Super Crown. And as we get further along, you'll start to notice that being a trend with Nintendo, them just doing things and not ever really answering any questions. But when it comes to Peachette specifically, it seems the Super Crown was an item specifically made to fill up Rule 34 and DeviantArt with, we'll call it fan art. The real question is, when will we get Bristlette? Mario and Luigi exist. Only the most groundbreaking of statements here on the TheSassJacket. So too do Waluigi and Wario. Something to note about the Mario and Luigi pairing is that red and green are considered complementary colors, as are yellow and purple in the case of Wario and Waluigi. This means that on a color wheel, green is on the direct opposite of the circle from red, making it red's complementary color. This is obviously the same for purple and yellow. So where am I going with this? Well, both red and yellow are 2 of the 3 primary colors, the last being blue. Going with that flow, this implies a missing set of characters, with the primary blue-colored character alongside an orange-colored complementary counterpart. I'm obviously not the one to come up with this, as full credit for the possibility goes to this poster here. The original poster, as well as the artist that I commissioned, hi bestie, for these pieces, depict a transitory state somewhere in between the Mario Bros. And Waluigi and Wario. But it's anyone's guess as to how they would actually appear if such characters have yet to be unveiled by Nintendo. It'll probably never happen. Don't count on it. Super Mario Sunshine is a weird game, one I've yet to play myself, as the scope seemed to be far more than I could handle with my Donkey Kong 64 addled brain. One of the main plot points of the game is Bowser Jr. thinking that Princess Peach is his mother, and although Bowser admits at the end of the game that Peach is not Bowser Jr.'s mother, it still leaves the question as to who that person actually is. From Bowser being able to asexually reproduce similar to Yoshi's, to Shigeru Miyamoto himself being Junior's mom, it's fairly unclear as to who actually fills this role. Some have even speculated that the storks that delivered baby Mario to his family mistook Peach and Bowser for a couple due to them spending so much time together. You know, with him kidnapping her so often and all. Still, it is hard to say given Nintendo's track record of ambiguity. Let's move on to left on the drawing room floor. The internet and videos like this one are well aware of the concept of beta character designs, from Yoshi's more aggressively reptilian scrap design to a fully functional yet thrown out regardless stand-in for what we know today as Chuckyas, known as Motos. This thing looks so dorky, dude. But no single rejected character design has ever set the internet on fire quite like Wapeach. Drafted up by Waluigi designer Fumihide Aoki, the character was originally pitched for the GameCube title Mario Power Tennis, though the initial inspiration for the character came during the development of the previous Mario Tennis title for the Nintendo 64. Wapeach would join Mario's extended cast of friends alongside the likes of Yoshi, Donkey Kong, and Daisy, and predictably, mischievous antics would ensue. Though probably the most interesting part of this character, besides the likeness towards Peach, is the Wa moniker, meaning she would have made the chaotic duo of Waluigi and Wario a trio instead. I would have loved to see this dynamic unfold as Aoki figured she would consider herself royalty comparable to Princess Peach, and Wario and Waluigi as her minions. It's stated by Shigeru Miyamoto that he himself shot down the idea of Wapeach on the basis of her appearing and acting too similarly to a character known as Duranjo from an anime series known as Yatterman. And I don't know, I don't really see it. I don't get that. Others have speculated having a childlike character around two grown men would be a weird dynamic, or that a villainous Princess Peach may be too negative of a character for Nintendo's liking, but the answer will probably always remain a mystery. Who knows, maybe one day we'll see her in all of her axe-wielding glory in an official Nintendo game one day. But going by Waluigi's track record of side title appearances only, your guess is as good as mine. Time for Reimagined and Left Behind. I've already made a short on this, but figured it was too good of a talking point not to include in this video. In both her original debut in Super Mario Land, as well as her depiction in Mario Party 3, Daisy sports an appearance very similar to that of Princess Peach. In between these games was the development of Mario Tennis 64, which, as we just discussed, was where Wapeach was a consideration for inclusion. Due to the game's intended rivalry system, Daisy was brought in as Peach's adversary, and as such was given her trademark appearance that we know of today as a thematic antonym to Peach's whole style. You know, Peach being a dainty, reserved kind of girl, while Daisy was an energetic and loud tomboy. One could even say that the character of Wapeach, being a more boisterous and outgoing type of girl, is spiritually succeeded by this iteration of Daisy. Due to the overwhelmingly positive reception of this depiction of Daisy, the original Peach-like design was thrown to the wayside, but still exists in the history of a couple of games as a relic of character growth. Also, the original Daisy could one-shot Mario Party Bowser. Look at him go! Speaking of weird amalgamations of different character traits smashed together to create a character, meet Koopa Kid. No, not Bowser Jr. No, not Baby Bowser. No, not Larry Koopa, Martin Koopa, Wendy Koopa, Iggy Koopa, Roy Koopa, Lemmy Koopa, or even Ludwig von Koopa. This is Koopa Kid, an absolutely bizarre Mario Party exclusive offspring of Bowser. It's genuinely hard to say what the intention was, since it's sort of assumed that due to the overwhelming number of them, that there's no actual way that they're Bowser's children. Then again, in early iterations of Mario Party, they're genuinely just called Baby Bowser. No, not Bowser as a you know what? Forget it. Regardless, this character filled a role that eventually became filled by Bowser Jr., even being replaced by Bowser's official kin in a few updated minigames from Mario Party Superstars and Mario Party The Top 100. This guy was weird. In Mario Party 5's story mode, they were able to split into 3 differently colored versions of themselves in order to gain a numbers advantage. In Mario Party 2, they could transform into King Koopa himself under the effects of the Bowser Bomb. In Mario Party 3's duel mode, I also made a video on that, they're a usable partner. And in Mario Party 6, they could fight themselves in the story mode proper. What even is this thing? Did we all collectively phase them out of existence? Or maybe Bowser's just finally gotten a handle on his excessive disdain for contraception. Who knows? I'm not even gonna talk about Donkey Kong Jr. How does this guy even exist? And why does it always come back to Mario Tennis? Go away. Wait a second. Is that a blue Mario? Blue Mario? Looks like we just found a glitch in the Matrix. Blue Mario exists because the developers wanted Mario to be the referee of every single tennis match. But what if Mario was on the course hashing it out himself? Far be it from the man to leave a single stone unturned, as he willed a tulpa-like husk of a humanoid to fill the position left in his absence. Does it feel emotions? Does it know the rules of tennis? Does tennis even matter to it? What's that? Over there on the horizon, have the Kongs sent an agent of destruction of their own? It's none other than Donkey Kong Land is a game for the Game Boy Color that ports all of the gameplay of Donkey Kong Country to a handheld form. It's also really bad at doing that because they still made Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Color. These are two separate video games. Come on, Nintendo, what's the matter with you? This alternate reality seismic shift caused a rift to form in the space-time continuum, creating the penultimate peak of the evolutionary process, Fedora Kong. When Nintendo Power was covering Donkey Kong Land, they just used this image without any real explanation as to whether this was intended to be Donkey Kong just wearing a fedora, or an entirely new character that looks like a tube of toothpaste when you squeeze it from the middle. Every day we stray further from God. Do y'all remember in Yoshi's Island when Baby Bowser went gigantic through the help of Kamek's magic? Do you remember when he did the same thing as an adult in New Super Mario Bros. Wii? So, Big Bowser is a thing, which is not a cryptid. I'm just trying to establish a theme here. So then what the hell is Giga Bowser? Giga Bowser is a Super Smash Bros. Exclusive transformation for Bowser that was initially introduced in Super Smash Bros. Melee, wherein once the player completes Adventure Mode on a difficulty of normal or higher within an 18-minute time limit, the final Bowser fight at the end now includes an additional component. For some reason, the Bowser you've just defeated is raised back up, struck by lightning, and the true beast within is unleashed. This, frankly, horrifying interpretation of Bowser is actually the result of the creator of Super Smash Bros., Masahiro Sakurai, viewing the original Bowser sprite in the first Mario Bros. Game as more monstrous than how he felt Bowser was characterized as the Mario series progressed, becoming more and more cutesy with each iteration. Although the Melee trophy information on Giga Bowser implies that it is a separate entity apart from the original Bowser, Giga Bowser ended up becoming one and the same with his scaly counterpart as they fought together with the help of the Smash Ball. Bowser would transform into Giga Bowser as his final smash, although it's unclear if this is a mutation or a sort of baton passing situation with the Smash Universe's set of odd rules. But that's neither here nor there. I can use all of the flowery language I'd like in order to explain these sorts of characters away, but that's a hard ask for literal fabrications of the community. Yes, I'm referring to hoaxes. Back in the Stone Age, when kids used to mine rocks and play with their pet rock and eat rocks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a particularly notable racing game hit the market, Mario Kart 64. Besides giving birth to Toad's now iconic bop noise, it also gave rise to the legend of Marty the Thwomp. Marty the Thwomp was a green thwomp, viewable on the Bowser Castle track behind jail bars. Well, it's unknown exactly why Marty was behind bars. Players were left in awe of the emerald hue of the chuckling square, like a slightly off-shade, shiny Pokemon. What people didn't realize is that yellow plus blue makes green, meaning the light illuminating Marty from above just made him appear green. Also, his manic chuckling isn't even unique. Technically speaking, this thwomp could be named Marty, but he's definitely not green. Sorry to burst your bubble. It's like telling people that Santa Claus doesn't exist. A seemingly more believable hoax was in the form of Scripulous Fingore, which was born from a tweet by the account @CutVideoGame, which read, "In the files for New Super Mario Bros. DS, there's a fully coded, unused ghost enemy referred to as Scripulous Fingore." When asked about the enemy in an interview, Miyamoto disregarded the question, seeming unusually upset. While obviously a joke, the amount of fan art and fan-created screenshots of other games involving Scripulous Fingore led more lax onlookers to believe that, at the very least, the character was a beta enemy that existed within the files of a few Mario titles. And he's on his way to kill you right now. We can all just ignore them into unexistence. We just have to be strong. And that concludes today's video. Thanks for watching. I have a Discord if you enjoy a quiet Discord where artists can show off the pieces that they're working on. Leave a comment to give my mental state a boost of serotonin, and check out the artists who did the Bowsette, Wapeach, and the missing primary complementary color brothers. They're my best friend. All links will be in the description below. Have a swell day, y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.